Statio bene fide carinus, a safe harbour for ships, motto on the Cork coat of arms. Now, Corkonians have always been justifiably proud of their port, considering it one of the finest natural harbours in the world.
In the days of sail, this was bustling with activity. The twin exports of meat and butter made these quays clangorous with life. Now, mechanisation has its own way of dealing with shipping, and Cork is still the second port in the Republic. But all is not well. The quay wall structures, once perfectly adequate to support shipping and traffic, are now quite literally coming apart at the seams.
Clearly, the quays in Cork are in a terrible condition, and there's a strong feeling among the citizens that the divided responsibility for them between the corporation and the harbour commissioners has slowed their rate of upkeep and maintenance. Some 15 years ago, the commissioners sold the inner, no longer navigable quays to the corporation for the nominal sum of 1 shilling, and that's been a costly investment, for in the past 5 or 6 years, the quays have undergone a dramatic deterioration. It will cost many millions to repair, make safe, or replace the old structures. What's gone wrong? Who's going to pay for it? And how much is it going to cost? Despite a public unanimity, it's thought that stalling, prevarication and brinkmanship between the two statutory bodies prolongs the agony. But as far back as 1976, after a serious collapse in front of City Hall, the corporation commissioned an investigation.
We reported to Cork Corporation on the 15 kilometres of quay wall that are in the 2 channels of the River Lee within the city boundaries, and we found that 10 kilometres of the quay walls were in poor condition and needed work done on them.
What exactly was wrong with those 10 kilometres?
They were built, generally speaking, during the first half of the 19th century, and obviously they weren't designed or built for the conditions which exist today. Around the mid-19th century, timber piles were put in front of these and dredging was carried out to allow bigger shipping to use the quay walls, and towards the end of the century even deeper dredging had taken place, and wharves were put in front of some of the quay walls to allow bigger shipping there. And of course, since that time, traffic has increased enormously on the backs of these quay walls, so that what's wrong with them really is that they're suffering from old age, and excessive dredging in front of them together with increased traffic. All these factors combined have led to a deterioration in the quay walls.
And that deterioration, a visible fact.
The Commissioner's responsibility is for maintenance of the quays, provision of new quays for shipping and for shippers using it for passenger traffic, etc.
Now, if there have been any subsidences and collapses, if there have been in Albert Quay, that then is your responsibility?
Our responsibility bat is just for shipping as such. We have about 10,000 feet of quays, both here and at Tivoli. We're in the process of providing additional quays. As we find quays are becoming redundant or obsolete, we provide new quays. So our primary purpose is to try and anticipate the need of shipping for new quays, the repair quays, etc.
Upstream of the railway bridges, the Spranborough and Clontarf bridges, the harbour commissioners have no jurisdiction over the quays in that area, and the corporation have repaired quay walls up in that area. Now, downstream of the bridges, they are in corporation ownership, in harbour commissioners' ownership, and the harbour commissioners have liability for them.
Yes, but while all this argument and discussion is going on between yourselves and the harbour commissioners, the common people of Cork can see Albert Quay in a dreadful state of disrepair. Will you argue that the harbour commissioners have a financial responsibility towards looking after the quay as it stands there?
Well, we are in discussions with the harbour commissioners on that issue, and that is associated with the loss to the harbour commissioners of quays upstream of the Customs House Bridge.
But is there, to any extent, a feeling that things have been delayed because of the ongoing discussions between yourselves and the harbour commissioners, and that in fact Albert Quay, in a dangerous condition, should have been seen to and can be seen to immediately and ought to be?
No, the position is that in 1979 we prepared a construction programme for quay walls that envisaged £7.5 million being spent in a period from 1980 to 1986. We are working on the priority rating given on that, and we're at the moment working on Penrose Quay.
A massive, ongoing task, and because of financial considerations needing to be undertaken in stages. Given that 2/3 of the city's quays cause concern, what criteria was used to decide where priorities lay?
The immediately most dangerous quays were completely repaired in 1976. Albert Quay, now known as McSweeney Quay in front of the City Hall, was completely replaced, and Anderson's Quay in front of the bus station was completely rehabilitated. And in 1979 we were asked to report again to Cork Corporation, giving an update of the situation and making recommendations on a 7-year plan. At that stage we reported to them and indicated that of the 15 kilometres of quay wall, we reckoned that about 3.5 kilometres were in critical condition, and we recommended that the minimum amount of money at those 1979 costs, the minimum amount of money that should be spent over a 7-year period was about £8 million.
A sizable amount of money, and what's been spent so far has been spent well. Fully replaced quays have an expected lifespan of 100 years. Medium-term repair solutions are good for 25. But there are other problems downstream.